All right, we are back. We're ready to start our first event, the largest dough stretch. Now, how many ounces is the dough that they're going to be using, Jamie?
I believe this is an 18-ounce dough, and the whole point here is to try to get it as large as possible. So they've got 5 minutes to do it. You can see Nathan Wilson here is getting us started. He's going to really press that dough into the flour and try to incorporate that in there and allow him to get that dough as big as he possibly can.
Nate Wilson works at 600 downtown in Bellefontaine, Ohio. It looks like it's spelled Bellefontaine, but they tell me it's pronounced Bellefontaine. He was trained by Brittany Saxon, who I understand has actually broken a couple of world records.
She's a beast. She's been competing for years and years, and she is definitely one of the best and has proven herself. And I'm sure she's a great mentor to all the up-and-coming people, but particularly for Nathan Wilson here, who works for her. What a great mentor to have.
He loves tossing dough as large as he can get it, so this is one of his favorite events.
You can see here he's starting to slap it out real good. He's gonna toss it up here, and I think he's doing some of this a little bit just for fun in the beginning here. This is where you want to get a little bit of room in that dough, and as the couple minutes go by, you'll see this dough is going to get really, really large, and that's where it's going to get real particular about how you stretch it.
Nate Wilson has been working in the pizza industry for over 5 years. His favorite color is green. He actually tied for third in our last event, which was in Columbus, Ohio, in this category, the largest dough stretch.
He had a great showing in Columbus. He's also one of the best up-and-coming acrobats around right now. So I expect to see real big things out of him today. Like you said, he did great in Columbus, and he's going to do great here today, I have a feeling.
We're going to see him in most of our events today. I look forward to seeing him in the freestyle acrobatics later on, but right now he's working the edges of that dough. He's working the gluten strands, or kind of what gives it that spring back.
That's right, yeah. The key to this is working the edge of the dough first. You want to make sure you get every single inch out of this dough that you can. If you forget to work the edge here in the beginning, then by the time you get it as big as you want it, it's just not going to be able to stretch as far as you want it to go. So you can see Nathan's doing a great job here, just really working that edge. See how his fingertips are right on the edge of the dough there, and he's trying to pull out every single inch of that dough that he can.
Now, in the rules of this contest, the dough can have holes in it, but they can't be any larger than a dime.
Yeah, that's right. What you'll see is maybe a couple of competitors here probably today, you may end up popping a small hole in it, and that's okay if you can go ahead and fix the dough, which may happen to one of these competitors. You'll see it's not a big deal, although really it's more of a mind game at that point. Once you pop a dough in this, it does kind of get to you mentally, but that's what separates the good from the best.
Still looks like he's working on those edges pretty well.
Yeah, he's like I said, he's working those edges. He knows what he's doing. Nathan's been here before, so he knows exactly what his technique's going to be. You can see that he's definitely been practicing this. You see how he's still got a slap going on that, which is pretty impressive once you get this big on the dough. He's got flour flying everywhere. That's what we like to see.
It's all part of the show, all part of the fun, seeing that grain craft flour flying through the air.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what we love to see. You get it on your shirt, you get it in your hair, you get it on your shoes. That's what making pizza is all about, getting that flour all over the place. That's what we love to do.
You see him smiling there. We've drawn a big crowd here, but he doesn't seem to be nervous at all.
No, Nathan's done this a few times now, and I think he's getting really more and more comfortable every time we see him out here. That's what it's all about. Once you get here in this competition in front of a large crowd like we have here today, you got to keep your cool because dough can be very, very fragile. Once it breaks and it tears too big, you're in trouble. So you got to keep your cool. Oh, it looks like he got a hole there. Yep, see, he's got a little hole there. He's going to try to go ahead and patch that up. Like I said earlier, that doesn't mean that you're out. You've just got to keep your cool. You got to see if you can patch that up, continue to stretch, and ride out the rest of this time, trying to get it as big as you can.
When they arrive at the 10-second mark, they are allowed to go to the ground at any point, but once they go to the ground, they can stretch it and can't pick it up after that.
Right. If you see them go to the, he's going to the ground now. He can continue to stretch it on the ground until the time is up. And what they'll do is they'll take a measurement from the longest side and then perpendicular to that measurement, and that'll give them the average size of that dough. And there you go. There was the countdown.
Right,
that's his dough. He did successfully patch that hole, so he's in the race here.
Now, they will measure it two different ways. The measurements are perpendicular to each other, or thereabouts.
Yeah, right now they're trying to find the absolute longest point to point, and then they'll go, you can see right there, that's a 90-degree from wherever that longest point is.
And those two measurements will be averaged, and the average is what the official measurement is.
That's exactly right, Daniel. That's exactly right. Looks to me like the dough this time around might be a little bit tight. That may be why it popped open there on Nathan. But it does look like it may have been a little bit tight. But the thing about it is everybody's going to get the same dough, so it's an even playing field for everyone.
All right, scores have been presented to the scorekeeper.
Up next, it looks like, do we have, is Ryan LaRose here to compete, or is he here to help clean up?
Well, if you see Ryan LaRose, it's no accident that he's on the stage. We'll see him on the stage later competing in freestyle acrobatics.
Okay,
he
gotcha.
is here to compete.
He's just here helping out Dave Summers. You got Lenny Rago up there, and you got Rick Wheeler, I believe, is the guy who's up next. You got a whole lot of talent on this stage right now. These are probably about a century almost worth of pizza maker here. So boom, Rick Wheeler's going. You see the flour explode. That's what we like to see. Get the excitement up here in this room. Rick Wheeler has been around for a long time, and he knows what he's doing. He is a seasoned competitor. Once again, Dan, you'll see he's starting on that edge. He's really working the edge of that dough. You can see he knows what he's doing. Rick Wheeler's out of the Mad Mushroom from West Lafayette, Indiana.
It's the home of Purdue.
That's right. Great pizza place out there.
In fact, if you were watching and you were a fan of the Boilermakers, he is himself an alum of Purdue.
Oh, is that true?
Yes.
Well, there you go. He's already got some fans.
I'm sure he's probably just earned a few more.
Yeah,
very
probably.
popular.
Especially with your mention there, Daniel. You can see he's adding a little flour to that. That's going to give him a little more ease to stretch it, kind of adding a little more body to that dough. He's going up in the air on there. You can see that flour flying around. Dave Summers in the background, keeping track of the time. That's a stringent judge right there, Dave Summers. He's been around the block more than a few times. He's won more of these competitions than you can probably even count. He's an old school competitor. I competed with him for many years. Yeah, you can tell just by looking at that dough, it's a little bit tighter than probably what these competitors are used to. But again, like I said, it's an even playing field. Everybody is getting the same dough for each competitor. So it's a fair game. Everybody has to deal with the same thing. And you know what, Daniel? That's what's interesting about these competitions. I mean, about being really a pizza maker is dough can really vary in how strong it is. How tight it is, depending on what your moisture content is. You know, how much water versus flour you've used. And if you've been in the pizza business for a long time, you should be able to work with different types of dough. It shouldn't be a surprise to you. Once you feel that dough, you should get an idea of what it can and what it can't do, what it's capable of.
Now, Dave Summers, who in some of the shots you see keeping time, I've asked him before, after watching him compete in this very event, it looks like you had a bad day with the dough, and he replied, the dough doesn't tell you what to do, you tell the dough what to do.
That's Dave Summers for you. He's not scared of a piece of dough. He, like I said, he's been in these competitions for a long time. I know me and him actually personally go back for well over a decade of these competitions. So he's seen it all. He's felt all kinds of different doughs. And if you're a pizza maker, you have to be able to control that dough. You have to be, especially in these competitions, because you don't know what you're going to end up with. So you've got to be able to be versatile. You've got to be able to adapt, and that's exactly what Rick Wheeler is doing here right now.
Does it help to make a bunch of different dough types and train with the different styles, so then you come to a competition, you feel which one it is, and you have a good handle on it?
I always think that before these competitions, it's a great idea to practice as much as you can with as much dough as you can, whether it be tight or really loose, even different sizes. You can't come into these competitions and blame the dough or blame the weather or blame the elevation or whatever you want to have, whatever you want to try to blame down. You've got to be able to work with whatever dough you're given. That's the name of the game here.
Really, those skills translate to the pizza industry because the humidity and temperature of the air can sometimes affect dough when you're making pizzas in a pizzeria. So.
Well, absolutely. I mean, if it's summer or if it's winter, maybe you open a pizzeria, in Denver where it's higher elevation. Maybe you're trying to do different styles of pizza. Different styles of pizza have different hydrations. So if you're just, a one-trick pony with a certain, hydration on a dough and that's all well, you're not going to be as versatile as you certainly could be. So definitely keep an open mind on that. And a lot of people nowadays are really playing with different hydrations on dough so that they can make different styles of pizza. You see Rick popped a small hole, nothing outrageous. He's fixing it right now. He's got about 20 seconds left unofficially. Sounds like Dave's got him going down to the floor now. You can see Rick is pretty well covered in flour. That's a good sign that he's out there working hard. Not a bad stretch there. He's got to make sure that hole is fixed. We got 6 seconds. He's got to cover those holes. He's got to fix those holes. And then time's up. Looks like he covered those holes. I can't tell from here, Daniel. What does it look like to you?
I believe he probably got them fixed.
Yeah, it looks like they're measuring it, so they must be within range here.
Hold several records and medals in largest, fastest, and box folding.
Again, they're taking the longest side, and they're going to go perpendicular to that. Get your average. Here's a good shot of Rick throwing some flour around, keeping it exciting. We want to see more of that all day today. Rick Wheeler from Mad Mushroom, West Lafayette, Indiana. Check him out.
All right. I have the score for the first competitor, Nate Wilson. He had an average width of 21 and 11/16 inches.
21 and 11/16 inches, okay. And then we're just waiting to see what Rick Wheeler's coming in at. It was a good stretch for Nathan. Again, I think this dough is probably a little bit tight, so these numbers are going to be a little smaller today than we may have seen in the past, but like I said, it's an even playing field. We got Nicole up here. We saw her last time. She did a great job. She had a good showing last time. You can see she's using the palm of her hand to try to flatten out that edge of that dough. Everybody, again, is going to work the edge of the dough first. Here she goes back to fingertips. That's a good technique she's got rolling right there. And notice again how they're using the flour and kind of adding the flour into the dough as they go. That secretly gives you actually a little bit more volume to that dough if you add a little flour to it. Although it does tighten it up a little bit.
Nicole Berglis is no stranger to this event, having competed previously in our prior event in Columbus.
Yep, I remember seeing her there. I think she did actually several events there last time, and she did a really good job, really good showing. She got a great slap technique. You see that? See how it's folding over itself. She's got a really good. Obviously, she's no stranger to making pizzas. You can tell just by her slap there. Throws it back down on the table. She's gonna work the edge again. You see how she's going back. She wasn't happy with the thickness on the edge, so she's gonna put it back on the table. She's going to work the edge as best she can. You see that? See how her fingertips are just right over there to that edge? And she's trying to get that as thin as she can. Remember, Daniel, this isn't just the biggest stretch. It's actually really the thinnest stretch. So the bigger you get it, obviously, the thinner it gets. And that's what we're doing here today. So the more you can even out the thickness of that dough, get it as thin as possible, the better off you're going to be.
You see there on her shirt where she works, she is the kitchen manager of Caliente Pizza and Draft House in Pittsburgh.
I've heard a lot of good things about that pizzeria. I haven't been able to go out there and check it out just yet, but if you are in the area, I suggest you go by there and grab a pizza, and sounds like grab a pizza and a beer. Who doesn't like that?
It's a very good combination.
I'm telling you, doesn't get a whole lot better than pizza and beer.
One team, one dream. That's a great motto.
Yeah, that is. You know, it is nice to have a solid team in your pizzeria. I know I've got one of the most solid teams there is at my pizzeria that I just opened up, and it's really all about having a solid team behind you, man. No doubt about it.
It may sound cliche, but teamwork truly does make the dream work.
It sure does. It sure does. Rock out till you clock out, Daniel.
And speaking of team, one of the people here today competing in the freestyle acrobatics will win a trip to Europe to compete as a member of the U.S. pizza team.
Yeah, they're headed over to London, I think in November. That's going to be an amazing trip. I wish I could compete and win that one. I would love to go to London. What an amazing experience. What an amazing opportunity for one of these pizziolas to go over to London and represent the United States over there. That'd be great. What an opportunity. You see she's popped a hole here too. I'm telling you, I think this dough is just a little bit tight. It looks like, although that looks like the biggest dough we've seen so far, but when it's tight like that, it does tend to pop open a lot easier than you're hoping it does. So doesn't seem to be bothering her too much. She's just working around that hole. That's really the key to these largest stretch competitions is if you get a hole, just don't worry about it. Work out the thick spots of that dough, and then at the end, patch that hole up and hope for the best. If you spend too much time fixing that hole the whole time, you're wasting a lot of the time you have to get it to a larger size. So Nicole's doing a great job of stretching, continuing to stretch the thicker spots, and not worrying about that hole.
About a minute left on our unofficial timer.
Yeah, and she's going to get down. Dave's going to put her down to the floor. And she's going to fix the hole then. And I don't know what you see, Daniel, but I'm seeing the largest dough we've seen so far. That looks like the largest dough I've seen.
It looks pretty big. So it all comes down to how well can she fix that hole and how much will it affect the diameter.
Yeah, exactly. If she folds it over too much to patch it up, then obviously she'll lose some size. But I think she's got the first two competitors beat. From sitting here anyway. That's what it looks like. See? Boom, she's still got a few seconds left. She's fixing those holes. She's got to take that fold out of the sides. Oh. She's got to flip that bottom. Oh, she got it right at the last second. That was a great job. Nice eye, Nicole. Good job. All right, they're going to take the measurement on that. Did we get a measurement in from Rick Wheeler's stretch on that last one?
Yes, we did. So, to update, the first score, Nate Wilson, got an average diameter of 21 and 11/16 inches. Rick Wheeler, the second competitor, is standing in the lead currently with 22 and 3/8 inches. Okay, so he just edged him out almost by a full inch, really, which is quite a bit of difference in this competition. I'm interested to see what Nicole comes in at because from what I saw, it did look like she was a little bit larger. She did a great job, good showing. You can see some instant replays here from Nicole. She had that great slap technique, and this is where she's working the rest of that dough, not worried about that hole until the very end. Putting it down here, stretching it all the way out. Let's see if they show that little flip right at the end. Probably gave her an extra half an inch. Right at the very last second, she just flipped that. Oh, no. Trust me, it happened. She's very aware of what's going on. All right, now we see Landon Butler. He's going to take his turn at the largest dough stretch. However, in the meantime, Nicole Bergless has taken the lead with 23 and 5/16 inches.
Nice, yeah, see, I thought that was a little bit larger. Looks like she's in the lead right now, 23 and 5/16. We're getting really exact on these measurements, 5/16. That's nice to see. So we've got Landon here. Again, guys, everybody at home, you can see He's working that edge. That's what he's aiming for. That's where you got to start. Some of the advantages of going later on in this competition is you watch the rest of these guys. You can almost tell what that doe is going to feel like just by watching the other competitors. So if Landon's been taking notes here, he's going to know this doe is going to be a little bit tighter, and he's going to take his time with it and be a little more careful than he may have if he was going first or second. There are some little tricks to these competitions.
Do you get a competitive advantage if you go later, seeing what everybody else does?
I think so, absolutely. Whether it be this competition or fastest or acrobatic or any of them, really, you always get some kind of a competitive advantage just because you see what that doe looks like, and you know what it is you have to beat. You know, if you're going first, you're kind of setting the standard, and you don't really know what good enough is, and you don't know what first place is going to look like. So that's tough to go first. So yeah, I mean, and you can see it here with Landon. He's doing a good job. He's got that little ripple on the outside of the edge there, and it looks like he's got a really great start so far.
Landon Butler also hails from Bella Fountain, Ohio, working at 600 downtown, and he was also trained by the two-time world record breaker, Brittany Saxton.
Yeah, she's like I said, she's a beast, and she's got some great people underneath her now, going back to that team. Obviously, she's built a great team over there, and for her to allow her people to come out here and compete says a lot about her. I mean, she's obviously cares about this industry and enough to send her people out here to represent, so that's great to see that.
They are working with Graincraft Power Flour. It's a high gluten flour, and that high gluten may help the integrity of this dough.
Oh, absolutely. When you have a high gluten flour, it's going to be a lot stronger. That's what some people maybe don't quite understand, but a high gluten flour is going to strengthen your dough. It's going to prevent it from just tearing apart, and the gluten strands in there are going to hold it together. That's of course, high gluten is what we all use in the pizza industry. It's what keeps us all in business and pays our bills. But this is really these U.S. Pizza Team trials really showcases that gluten, really showcases that high gluten flour.
Landon Butler is actually the defending gold medalist from our previous event. In this event, the largest dough stretch.
Well, let's see if he can do it again. Obviously he has a really good technique going here. You can see he's got his knuckles in there, and he's just trying to get the little bits of the edge of it stretched out. Keep in mind, I mean, as you stretch that outside, that inside is going to stretch as you stretch the outside. So if anybody comes in here and starts stretching the middle, they're making a big mistake, because then you're just going to end up with a big, giant, thin spot. He's doing a great job. So he's got it back on the table, and he's just working the thicker spots in there. That's exactly what you want to do, and it's no mystery why he won this last time, because obviously he practices, obviously he understands how to work the dough, and he's got a really good technique. Okay, here he goes. He's back to slapping. You see how big that dough is getting, and he's still able to slap it very easily.
He had a slight smile on his face there for a second.
I think he's having a good time, Daniel. I think he's enjoying himself.
He must be feeling good about this dough.
Yep, that's what this is all about. I mean, why would you come out here if you weren't having fun with it? Of course, it's serious business too. But a lot of these guys come out here to meet up with some pizza friends. Everybody kind of hangs out in the pizza industry. It's a great industry, and everybody wants to come out and see everybody. It's kind of like one big family gets together when you have these competitions up here, for sure.
It really is sort of a family atmosphere. The people that work in the pizza industry are a really special group of people.
They sure are. I wouldn't want to be in any other business. I've been in the business a long time, and I've met a lot of wonderful people. You can see a couple of those guys on stage now as we speak. Here goes Landon down to the floor here. He's got a small little hole, nothing to worry about. He's got to pull that little flap underneath his hand there if he sees it. There's a small flap right there underneath his right hand. Oh, well, he's still got a good stretch there. He did a good job. Let's see if that's enough to put him into first place.
Do you think he left maybe a half inch or two on the table?
Yeah, if you see right there by Dave Summers' left hand, you see that flap right there? If he could have pulled that out, he would have gotten another, it looks like maybe another half inch or so. But we'll see if what he did is enough as is. He looks pretty anxious. See how his score comes in. I think it was a good stretch. Again, this is all about technique. Look, he's got a smile on his face. Yep. Looks like he's pretty happy with it.
All right,
Let's be pleased with the score.
Max Rocher of Tiki Sam's, Jackson, Mississippi.
For this event.
Absolutely.
It's no wonder he's won it before.
Yeah, I'm not shocked at all. I think it may have been big enough to put him into first place. We'll see what that score is when it comes in.
In fact, it has come in, and he has taken the lead with 23 and 7/8.
23 and 7/8. All right, great. Yeah, he's in first place. You know, he's the reigning champ, so he still is, unless somebody else can come up behind him and knock him out here. We'll see what happens.
Now, this young man is a newcomer to these competitions. He's never competed in one of these before. His name is Maximus DeRocher.
Maximus is a great name. That's a tough name, and maybe he'll be a tough competitor. We'll see. It's nice to see these new guys out here. You definitely want to see new faces out here. We'll see if he brings something new to the table. Do you know what his background is?
I know a little bit. I met his father last night. He began working in pizza because of his father. His dad owns a mobile food truck up there in Hanover, Michigan.
Okay.
And as far as his name goes, I did ask him about that, and he said he was named after the character from Gladiator.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Quite a character to live up to. I asked him how many times he's seen the movie, and amazingly, he said 0.
Huh.
Now, I don't know about you, but if somebody had named me after the hero of a hit film, I would rush out to go see it.
You would think so. You would think you would.
Perhaps
he's got kind of an interesting technique here, Daniel. He's sort of pulling it, elongating it on each side. I have not seen this technique before. He's adding some flour to it here, but we'll see if this pays off for him.
Tiki Sam's is actually much more accessible up here in the north.
See, his shirt there indicates the name of his father's business, Tiki Sam's Pizza.
Looks like a fun pizza shop. I love those pizzerias that have the fun logos. A little tie-dye shirt. Looks like it'd probably be a cool place to check out if you're ever over in the area, over in Jackson, Michigan. You should go check them out over there. It looks like a fun place.
In fact, I noticed some jewelry on his father last night. Got a better look at it, as I wasn't sure. Was it some sort of a decorative ring or a championship ring? Actually, it was a tiki that looked very similar to the logo on the T-shirt.
Oh, really?
Which made perfect sense.
Well, yeah, maybe they sell rings over there too, or jewelry over there at Tiki Sam's, on top of their pizza places, their pizzerias. So he's got a different technique than most of the guys you see here. He's using mostly table technique. Now he's going in the air here. I think he's still within the range of everyone else. Let's see what he can do with the last couple of minutes of this. I'd like to see him getting a little more aggressive with this to get a little more size. He does have his knuckles on the inside. There he goes. See how he's turning his hand just outside a little bit? That's giving him a little bit more stretch in there. He is working that edge real nicely. So he could be in the running here. That'd be great for a first-time competitor to be up there with the rest of these people. That would be a good showing, no doubt about it.
Maximus became interested in these pizza athletics after watching some videos online. So if you're watching this video and you're interested in trying out or competing, you could join us this June by trying new activities and attending events in and around the Boston, Massachusetts area where the United States Pizza Team will be holding their next trial. To find out more about that, you can visit uspizzateam.com. Be sure to follow them on social media at US_Pizza Team.
I definitely think if you're out there watching this and you're making pizzas, you work in a pizzeria, there is no reason in the world to not get out to one of these competitions and show us what you got. I mean, I know that, when I was making pizzas and I heard of these competitions coming out, I couldn't wait to come and compete. It's been a long road for me, but, there goes a hole. He put his hand through the whole thing. That's too bad. He was doing a good job, but like I said before, don't worry about it. Just, keep stretching it, patch it up at the end. That's what I always did. But getting back to it, Daniel, if you get an opportunity to come out and compete, do it. It will change your career. I'm telling you, you will meet so many wonderful people in the business. You will be introduced to so many wonderful resources, and also it just kind of gives you a whole new passion for the industry that you're in. He did a decent job of patching that hole. He's going to the floor. Not much patchwork to do because he already did it. Actually looks like a really good size there. He's got to fix that hole, straighten everything out. He's got that hole in the bottom end. You better fix that. I don't know how big that is, but
very nice. Let's hear it.
It might be smaller than a dime, so he's probably all right.
Yeah, you're probably right. That looks like that was a pretty good stretch. Good job for this first-time competitor. Fantastic.
Next up, we're going to have Cody Edler of Domino's Pizza here in
This is an excellent result for a first-timer.
He's a U.S. Pizza Team and competition legend. Holds numerous records and fastest.
You see the replay again here. Now, the long stretch that he was doing on the table, do you feel like that took too much out of the center, or do you feel like he was all right there?
You know, I haven't seen that technique before. It's sort of, he like elongated it and then turned it 90 degrees and did it again. Seemed like it worked for him. That's not a technique I've seen before, but you know, he didn't get anything, any ridiculously large holes, so I feel like it worked for him. But again, you know, when you come out to these competitions, you learn every time. So hopefully all of these new competitors, and not just the new competitors, everyone here is learning from what they see from everybody else. So, you know, I guarantee you whatever his score comes in at, he's going to get even better next time he comes out. But honestly, I think he's up there in the running on this one.
It looks like his score has come in at a even 23 inches.
23, so, I mean, he's beat a few people. He's not quite in the lead, but it was a good stretch. Great showing for the first time. Now, up next we've got Cody Edler. This is some serious heritage here. His dad, I assume it was his dad, Brian Edler, is a legend in these events. Holds so many records in fastest and largest worldwide from Domino's Pizza here. So he's got some big shoes to fill for sure. But I guarantee you, him and his dad went over a few pointers. I'll guarantee you that.
This sport may be new to you if you're watching it for the first time, but it's not new to these guys, and that's evidenced by the fact that we're seeing second-generation pizza competitors like Cody Edler in front of your very eyes right now.
Absolutely. I mean, who would think it was a sort of a family tradition passed down? But here we are, and look at this technique. He's got it super, super thin on the edge. He knows exactly what he's doing. I got a feeling he is probably coming for first place here today. I think he's probably the one to watch, I got a feeling. He's got a really nice toss there. He's got a really nice size already. And the best part about it is that dough looks like it's almost perfectly even all the way through. So it's a great place to start.
He's getting some big air, but with high risk comes high reward sometimes.
I'm sure that's what he's hoping right now. He's got a good technique. It's a nice soft catch. I don't think he's running any major risks. Sometimes it's better to throw it in the air like that because that way you're not manhandling the whole time. You're just sort of letting physics do the work.
There is a risk if he happens to drop it on the floor. Should it touch the floor before the final 10 seconds, he has to basically stop there and just do his floor work and finish out immediately.
Right, that's exactly right. My guess is he's probably not going to drop it on the floor. He's probably done this about a few million times, so chances of him making a mistake like that would be pretty slim. It sure would be a rough thing to see if that did happen, but I think he's okay. You can see, Daniel, I would guarantee you this is already larger than just about anybody so far. He has got a fantastic technique. He's definitely learned from one of the best. There's just no doubt in my mind. I can just tell looking at him. He's also got a lot of flour on him, and that's the way it's supposed to be here. I think his dad is actually in the audience right behind us, and I bet you he's as proud as can be right now.
I'm sure he is. I know I saw him in the crowd earlier.
Yep, yeah, I saw him as I was walking in today, and I bet you he's just really happy to see this lineage continue. Look, he's getting some serious air. He's throwing it up there, not a care in the world.
He's very big, but he's still got a lot of time left, at least according to the unofficial timer.
Yeah, he's still got 2 minutes. He's got a really large dough there, and he's going back to the table. again, he's going to go back to the table, and all he's doing now is he's trying to feel out any spot that seems to feel a little bit thicker than the rest. He's going to work those spots, try to get it as even all the way through the dough as possible. That is the name of the game here. He wants to work just the thick spots. See that? Whoa. Whoa, now that one was a little dangerous, Daniel. But he seems like he's got great control over it.
If you've got a good camera, this makes for a spectacular photo. Oh no!
He popped a hole in that one, and that was a big hole. Oh man. I'll tell you what, if he can fix that, he can still be in the running, but that was a massive, massive hole. And unfortunately, it's right on the side of the dough too. That's a tough one, because you're gonna struggle to fix that. You're gonna struggle to be able to continue to stretch that with that hole that close to the side of the dough. If that hole connects all the way to the side, that dough, you run the risk of tearing it straight all the way through. So he's gonna pound this out. He doesn't have a whole lot of time to make a decision on what he's going to do. So let's hope he makes the right choice. Let's hope he can get it back down to the ground and still be in the running in this.
He was going kind of high risk on getting that big air on these big spins.
He sure was. Yeah, it was looking okay at first, and when he started to do that a few seconds ago, it started to look a little scary. But it looks like he's got it patched up. It's still a really big dough. Time is starting to run out on him, so as long as he gets that down on the floor, patches it up and gets it down, oh boy, it popped right back open. He's got to get that patched up. He's only got a few seconds to do it. Oh boy.
If he cannot get it patched up, they may disqualify him.
He looks like he's got it patched up. Let's see if he lost any size on that though. 3, 2, 1.
Cody Hitler.
That was a good stretch. Probably not exactly how he wanted it to go, but it was a really good stretch. I think he really killed it in the beginning there. So thankfully for that, he may still be up here in the leaderboard. We'll have to wait to see what the scores come in as.
Here we see the replay of him working the dough, and you see on the screen he works at the Domino's in Toledo, Ohio, which kind of makes him the hometown hero here.
Yeah, I suppose it does. I bet he's probably got a whole fan base here behind us. Wasn't much of a commute for him, I suppose. Here's some great footage, and then boom, right there
it is.
You see that it just tore. I think it just had all he could have. The dough's had all it could have on that, and it tore, unfortunately. You see him going to the ground here, and he's got a really solid stretch there, but he's got that big, nasty hole there. Up next, we got Tara Hatton. She is one of the best up-and-coming pizziolas out of Andolini's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. She was with us last time. She really puts on a great show here. She's a very, very talented pizza maker, and we're looking forward to seeing her perform today.
If she looks familiar to you and you work in the pizza industry, then maybe because she's been on the cover of PMQ Pizza Magazine. In fact, she was on the cover last month.
That's right. What an honor for her, I'm sure. She was probably thrilled to see herself on a leading industry magazine, PMQ, because, in my opinion, quite frankly, there's just not a lot of female acrobats and pizza athletes out there, and she has just really been killing it the last year or two, making a name for herself and leading the way for other female competitors. That's what this industry needs. That's what these competitions need is some more female competitors. I tell you, I think we talked about this last time, Daniel. Some of my favorite and best employees over my many years in the industry have always been females. They can be they can be beasts. Look at this, a little show off here. She's spinning it on her fingers, spinning it on one finger,
giving us
making
a
it
little
look
preview.
good. That's right, look at that smile. She's having a good time out here. She's getting a good stretch, and she's making it look good while she does it. That's fantastic. We love it. The crowd loves it.
She's only about the age of 22 years young. However, she's worked in the pizza industry for 5 years, and perhaps you could accuse her of being an overachiever. She leads a pizza team in daily ops, inventory, production, quality, and smiles. She's also the gelato production manager for 6 units and multiple regional wholesale outlets.
Wow, that's impressive for someone who's 22 years old. Sounds like she's got a lot on her plate. That's fantastic. I'm sure her career is just going to grow and grow and grow as she gets older. Looks like she's got a little tear on the side of her dough, I think, if I'm correct. Yeah, you see that right there. You got to be really careful, like I was saying with the last competitor. When you tear that, the edge like that, you run the risk of that thing splitting straight in half, which is not what you want. It does look cool though sometimes, but you definitely don't want it if you're the competitor. She's not scared of it though. She's just going to keep throwing it up there. Sometimes in a competition like this, you just got to go for it. There's no sense in taking it easy or trying to bide your time or anything like that, because you got to get it as big as you can. You just get one shot. So
now, when the tear is right on the edge like that, and it looks as if somebody has taken a small bite out of the dough, is that something that can be repaired?
It can be repaired, but not really. I mean, you're not going to get that to bond. It's not going to hold. What's going to happen is if you put any kind of pressure on that particular spot, that dough is going to rip almost straight in half. She's going to try to repair it, but I'm telling you, that's just probably not going to hold. You see how it just kind of came right back apart? I mean, my advice would be just keep working everything around it. You got to be careful of trying to put the centrifugal force on there. That's what's going to make it rip in half. So she's got a real challenge ahead of her right now, Daniel. She's trying to stick it back together, but when it gets on the edge like that, it's brutal. It's almost a lost cause as far as that goes. But you just gotta keep going. What are you gonna do?
She's got a big smile on her face. She may think it's a lost cause and has just decided to have fun with it now.
That's what you got to do. I mean, she's just got to stretch it as much as she can, be a little bit cautious with it so that she stays in this sucker for another minute or so, get it to the ground, patch it up, and hope for the best at this point. When the sides tear like that, that's a real challenge to try to get that thing stretched out, because your normal techniques that you're used to using just are not going to work at all. But she's doing a good job. I mean, she's keeping her head about her. She's got a pretty decent sized dough there. I imagine she's going to try to patch that up, I suppose. And that's what she's doing. She's pressing it together as best she can. But as you can see, Daniel, she's going to lose a lot of size patching that sucker up.
For sure. She hails from Andolini's in Tulsa, Oklahoma. It's a valiant effort, but I just don't know that dough is going to do much of anything.
Yeah, that was a rough going, but you know what? She actually had a really good showing for the challenge that she faced. She did end up patching up everything she needed to, so now it's just up to the judges to give us the proper measurement and see what we came out as. Again, you're going to see more of Tara Hatton today. I'm excited to see her acrobatic performance. She always puts on a great show. She put on a great show in Vegas just a couple months ago, actually winning first place in the preliminary event out there. She's a great competitor, and we're looking forward to seeing more of her.
Next up, we have Matt.
First place win in the prelims of the World Pizza Games, followed by a magazine cover. Seems like her star is rising.
Yeah, I hope so. She has that passion for the business, and she loves being out here. And as long as you stick to that formula, it's just going to get better and bigger and better for you. I hope to see that for her future, for her career. We got Matt Hickey up next from Caliente Pizza and Draft House out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He's working that edge. Looks like he's nice and calm.
Give a big round of applause.
And he was here last time as well, Daniel. We've seen him actually a couple times in these competitions, and he's a great competitor too. I have a feeling he's going to do a real good job here. You can see he's really being nice and gentle with his fingertips, getting a nice stretch on that edge.
Well, as you may have expected, Tara Hatton is definitely off the medal podium. All those troubles with her dough added up to a score of only 20 5/8.
Yeah, that was a tough one, but there's always next time, as we say. She put on a good show. Sometimes the dough works with you, sometimes it doesn't. But, it's really about the attitude you have. She had a good attitude with it. She knew she faced a big challenge there, but she faced it head on. She did the best she could, and there's nothing to be ashamed of there. She did the best she could with that. And, 25/8, it's not a bad score considering the ranks we're in so far. It's really not that far off.
Well, we'll see if Matt Hickey can take over the lead. The lead is currently held by Cody Edler with 23 and 15/16 inches.
Yeah, Cody just did an amazing job when he stretched it out. Again, I'm sure he learned a lot from his father, and so he almost has an unfair advantage there. Maybe it's a genetic advantage, but it was actually really cool seeing him. But he is the man to beat right now.
Well, Matt Hickey is going to do his best to try and top that. You can see it looks like it's snowing a little bit.
That's right, it's snowing, kind of matches the weather around here, even though it's almost May. Matt Hickey here doing a couple of tricks with that dough. He's also another acrobat. I'm sure you're going to see him later in the acrobatic competition. But you see, he's not scared to spin it around and do a couple tricks with it. Back to the slap, back up in the air. That's what the people love to see here. We got a big crowd behind us, and they're all excited to watch these guys, these real professionals, play with their dough. That's what we do all day. That's what we love to do. That's why we're here.
I'm starting to wonder if he's really competing in this event or just warming up for the freestyle later.
That's true. Yeah, you just when you do that freestyle competition, really all you want to do all morning is touch some dough, so your hands get used to it. So maybe this is why he signed up for these other events, just to prepare himself for that. But no, and seriously, Daniel, he knows what he's doing. You can see his dough is getting bigger and bigger. He's got a real nice touch to him. He's working that edge. He's no stranger to this competition. Probably no stranger to any of these competitions, to be honest with you. He looks like he's got a real cool head. He's back to the slap here. He's got a really nice technique on that slap. And that's what it's all about. See, that's getting bigger and bigger, and really, if he can keep this thing intact, he might be up there with Cody here. It looks like, because that dough's getting pretty big.
Well, he certainly has the resume. He is the 2017 gold medal winner for largest dough stretch at the World Pizza Games in Vegas.
Oh, did he pull that? Yeah, okay, that makes sense to me. I thought he had pulled a couple medals in this competition. So
he's been working with dough for over a decade, so if anybody's got a good feel for it.
Looks to me like he popped a hole right in the middle. He's also got a tear on the side. He's going to have to play it real cool for the rest of this time, or that dough could give him some issues. But he's keeping his head, and he's doing what he needs to do. But if he goes too hard on that, he's going to get some real shredding going on. I can tell you that much. I can see he's got a few thick spots to work. If he just focuses on those thick spots in there in the middle, he can get a little more size out of this without tearing. But if he touches any of those already torn spots, it's going to be a mess.
He's against the ropes, but not out of the fight yet as he goes to the floor here.
Definitely not out of the fight. He knows what he's doing. He's grabbing just the thicker spots of that dough, and he's just stretching those. He's going to have to go to the floor and patch up, do quite a bit of patchwork here, but he's still getting more size even as we speak. So here he's on the floor. He's patching it up. He's got to work quickly. He's got 10 seconds to patch all this up. He is getting some size there. He's doing a good job of pulling out the sides, getting those couple extra inches. He's got to patch that up, and it's looking rough. I don't know. We'll see. That was a pretty good tear.
Well, he didn't have quite enough time to flip off the little corner there or try and work on that edge tear on the other side. That's probably really going to hurt him.
We'll see. Yeah, he had a really great stretch there. I thought he was going to be up there in the lead, but with this competition, that's how it goes sometimes. You feel real smooth. You feel like everything is going well, and then you get a tear and kind of ruins your game plan. But he did a good job of keeping his cool, trying to recover there at the end. We'll see what the score comes in at.
Well, as the old saying goes, go big or go home. And in this event, going big is the name of the game.
That's what it's all about. The bigger the better. And That's what these guys are out here to do. So, like I said before, there's no sense in being cautious with this. You got to get it as big as you can in 5 minutes, and that's what you have to do. If you play it, play it safe, you're not going to win this competition, or you're not going to really win any of these competitions, to be honest with you, Daniel.
Well, despite his troubles, he did come in with a score of 23 1/8 inch.
Not bad. That's a pretty good score considering the holes he had in there. He did a good job, obviously, of recovering, and that was a good job. So can't blame him for that.
There you see Max Mathias on your screen. He's also hailing from Caliente Pizza and Draft House.
Yeah, Max was here last time. I remember. Did a really good job. See how Max does on this competition. Working the edge again. You can see using plenty of flour, getting in there. You see his fingertips just going right on the edge, working it, trying to get it as thin as possible. That is the name of the game. We've seen already a couple times today where that it got away from a couple of people, where they worked the edge maybe a little bit too much or pulled too quickly, too soon, and tore. Max is doing a good job of maintaining that. Now we're going to just go right around, within a few inches of that outside, if you can see. And you got to work it slowly and steadily, finding those thick spots, getting them thinner. Like I said before, this isn't just the biggest, it's the thinnest. That's the idea. The thinner you get this, the bigger it's going to be. It's just simple mathematics, Daniel.
Well, Max loves video games, and video games are often sports or competition, and they develop good hand-eye coordination. So maybe some of those video gaming skills will translate to this dough stretch.
Well, you never know. I haven't seen a pizza video game yet. Maybe I'm out of the loop, but I'm sure it could help.
There was, in the 1980s or perhaps 1991, there was a video game called Yo Noid in which you played as the Noid, and you were trying to defeat the evil Mr. Green.
Oh, yeah?
Well, which is really just another Noid, but with a green color palette.
You're showing your age there, Daniel. You just lost about half of our viewers.
Came out for the Nintendo Entertainment System.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't think I caught that game, and I'll bet you anything that's not the one Max is playing. But looks like Max has got a few issues here with a couple of holes. Nothing too major yet, but there's more than a couple in there, so there's going to be a lot of fixing to do here at the end.
Well, it looks like today's competition may be determined not necessarily by pure stretch, but by who handles the holes that are created in this process the best.
That's right, Daniel. People don't realize all of the little aspects of this, but like we were talking about in the beginning, if you don't know how to work with the dough, when you do have a tougher dough, a harder dough, a dough that's just tearing, if you don't know how to work with those, you're not going to have a very good chance of winning these things. So you can go to the judges and complain about how the dough was made, this, that, the other thing, but everybody's getting the same dough here. So, in cases like this where it tends to be ripping a little easier than you may want it to, guess what? It's still your job, it's still part of the competition for you to be able to figure out how to stretch it, how to get it down and patch up the holes, and how to get it as big as possible. Doesn't matter, you can complain all you want to about as the same dough to work with, so it's an even playing field.
See the look of intense concentration on his face. This is Max's second competition with the U.S. pizza team.
You got to concentrate. You see there's quite a few holes in that dough, so you're sort of jumping and skipping around trying to find those thick spots and avoid those big holes, which Max is doing a good job of right now, because it's a fun dance there right now, because there's a bunch of holes all over the place. Nothing too major. There is that big tear in the side of it, but Max doing a good job of avoiding that for now. I'm not sure what the official time left is, but I think we're getting near the end. Just got to have a game plan. Go to the ground, patch those holes up, and go from there. Most competitors with the dough looking like that probably would have shredded that thing completely by now. Max has avoided that and is still in the race here.
good width on
This
that.
Caliente crew is a very talented group.
Sure are, you know, and it's so nice to see these pizzerias out there that support their employees, that bring big groups like this out for these competitions. You know, there's almost no better way really to show your appreciation of your employees than to bring them out to competitions like this and allow them to have a little fun with what we all do for a living. There you have it.
Give him a big round of applause,
you know,
please.
kind of a messed up looking dough there, but Max did the best that he could, and we're going to get a measurement on that. You know, did patch up the holes, however, it was torn on the side, so that's going to be a tricky one to measure, and we'll see what the scores come out as.
Maybe in the replay we'll see exactly where that first hole popped up.
Here you go. Let's take a look and see if we can see where it is. There
it
it was,
was.
right there. You saw the look on Max's face.
The reaction told the whole story.
Yep, that's right. But you know what? Did a good job of keeping us cool and continuing. Working around the edge, went down. You can see that dough was like Swiss cheese right there. So I had to do the best that he could do to fix it up.
On your screen is Joshua Owens. This is his first ever competition in anything.
Yeah, I was just talking to Josh earlier, been with Mad Mushroom. I think he said something like 10 or 12 or 15 years, forever. Mad Mushroom, of course, is Dave Summers' brainchild there. And looks like Josh probably knows what he's doing if he's been with Mad Mushroom that long. We're going to see this technique again. If Dave Summers is your boss or is anywhere above you, that gives you a pretty good advantage because Dave Summers has won more of these competitions than almost anybody I can think of. That's, of course, why he's running the competitions today.
He accompanied Rick Wheeler on his way down here.
Right, also from Mad Mushroom. Again, bringing a solid team from one pizzeria. You know, we love to see that. We love to see pizzerias supporting their employees, bringing them out to these competitions, and supporting the pizza industry.
Rick Wheeler works at the Mad Mushroom in West Lafayette, but Joshua Owens works at the sister location just across the bridge in Lafayette. He's been in the pizza industry for 20 years, half of that with Mad Mushroom.
Okay, yeah, so I was pretty close, 10 years there. A 20-year veteran of the pizza industry. You know, that's probably a good sign that Josh knows what he's doing, I'm going to guess. If you've been doing something 20 years, chances are you're pretty good at it, or you're in the wrong business. If you're not any good at what you do in 20 years, then you've probably taken a wrong turn somewhere. But Josh obviously knows what he's doing. Works the edge of that dough. You can see that's a really good camera shot. You see how thin that's getting right there on the edge. That's really as perfect as it gets. That's exactly what you want to be doing here. You can see how big that dough is getting. He's got a good slap technique. He's taking it nice and easy, just kind of letting the dough spread itself out. It's you know, again, it's almost perfectly even all the way across.
He's making it look not necessarily easy, but he's got a smooth, good rhythm going, and he's making it look less difficult than you would think.
Yeah, absolutely, and you can see where he's just pinching. He's going around the edge. You see how he's just feeling each individual spot. What he's trying to do there is he's trying to feel for the thicker pieces of dough, and as soon as he finds one, he grabs it and he pulls it out a little bit. That's what he's doing right here. You can see he's looking for those thick spots, and he's stretching out just those thick spots. You don't want to just blindly stretch out all of it, because if you've got a spot that's thin, that's when you're going to tear. He's looking for the thick spots. Take those thick spots, you thin them out a little bit, and guess what? Your dough gets bigger as you do that. He's got a really good technique. Let's see if he can keep this up with no holes. If he can keep this technique up with no holes, he's going to have a winner here. Oh, he's got a small hole, nothing to even worry about right now. He just needs to avoid that, and he could have a winning dough right here if he just keeps his cool, looks for the thick spots, and doesn't get too crazy. I think he's got a winner here, to be honest with you. That's what it looks like to me.
Cody Edler is still the man to beat. We received Max Mathias' score. He came out with a 22-inch even pizza dough.
Yeah, you can see it looks like it was 18 one way and 26 the other. That is quite oblong, like you pointed out, Daniel. So it's tough to get a high score when you've got one short and one long measurement. But again, did the best that he could, given how that doe turned out.
Well, Jamie, this man is our last competitor in the largest doe stretch event. So if anybody can unseat Cody Edler, then it will have to be him. Otherwise,
I'll be honest with you, as long as Josh doesn't make any major mistakes here, I think he's got it. He just has to not pop a hole in it. You can tell, I don't know if you can tell at home, but I can tell from here that that's the biggest doe we've seen today. He's got a really nice stretch. Look at how you can see through that doe. You see how you can see the color of his shirt right through that doe? That means it's really, really thin. See that? He's doing a great job. He just has to not pop a hole, and I think he's got this competition won. He just needs to relax, chill out.
Appeared, and he's found it, and he's going to fix it.
Yeah, those small holes are not going to be a problem because he's going to fix that. As long as he doesn't get a big tear, and he's well on his way here. It looks like he's about to go to the floor. As long as he keeps it cool. Here he goes. He's on the ground. He needs to pull everything out so it's a nice circle. He's got that bottom flap. He's got to fold down. There he goes. There he goes. Pull it out. He's got a couple seconds left. And I'd be surprised if that wasn't the winner. Beautiful job for Josh. Awesome job, Josh. Great job on that one.
And has he done enough to unseat Cody Edler? The measuring tape will tell the whole story.
All the fastest competitors to the back. Rick Wheeler.
Here's a replay of this really good technique. You can see where his right hand was really pressing down and getting that thin on the edge. And here's a good shot of his slap technique. Really fantastic. I think Josh understood what he had to do. I bet you he watched everybody else. He knew how tough that doe was going to be, and he knew what he had to do. So it was a great job for Josh. Good job, Josh.
And yesterday I spoke to him. He was worried about nerves being in front of these cameras, but no nerves today, as he absolutely looked like a wily veteran with lots of years of experience.
Yeah, he sure did. Going back to what we were saying when he first stepped up, working under Dave Summers at the Mad Mushroom, it's a wildly successful pizzeria, and Dave Summers is a hell of a mentor, and he does a great job. So his guys are going to be amazing as well.
Wow.
Daniel,
we'll see
commercial. Quiet. Throw it to commercial.
We'll be back after this.
PMQ is the pizza industry's business magazine and is received by the 40,000 pizzeria owners that manage America's 77,000 pizzerias. PMQ is the leader in pizza-related web content, video, and social media. We are proud to have supported the world-traveling U.S. pizza team for nearly 20 years as a culinary and acrobatic force in the $100 billion pizza industry.
We are back live from the SoFo Signature Showcase for the Spring Acrobatic Trials for the U.S. Pizza Team. Right now, we're getting ready to do the fastest pie making competition, and don't let the name fool you. Nobody's going to make a completed pizza where they put toppings on and bake it in the oven. All they have to do here is stretch it out and cover a 10-inch screen.
This is really a showcase of how quickly your stretcher in the pizzeria can stretch the dough. Typically in your pizzeria you have stations, one of those being stretcher. Here we go with Nathan Wilson. Watch this. He's going to He's going to smash every one of the doughs quickly. What that does is that really activates that gluten, starts to relax it a little bit. So you'll see all these competitors will pound into the dough a little bit, get that to start reacting, and then they'll go back. Some of them, stack 2, some of them stack 3, some of them stack all 5. I'm sure you'll see all different techniques here, but this is where the competition really starts to get exciting and fast-paced. You'll start seeing flour flying everywhere.
The goal is to cover those 5 screens. And as in the largest dough stretch, a hole can happen, but it can't be larger than a dime.
Right. If in this competition, if you start to get holes, it's going to be a little bit tricky for sure. You can see the screens to the side of him. He's got to get all 5 of these doughs stretched to completely cover those screens. That's kind of the tricky part to it. So he stacked all 5 of them up, and he pressed all of them at the same time. And now he's going to try to go through and slap each one of them out to cover those screens. He's got to go back and stretch it out a little bit more. This dough looks a little tough. So they're gonna have their work cut out for him today. Looks like he put that first one down. I'm not sure if it completely covered the screen or not. That one looked like it did. Dave Summers is there with the official clock, and he's also going to be pointing out to the competitors if they need to stretch the doughs out a little more. He'll point to where the screen is still showing, and they'll have to go back and they'll have to stretch it all the way over before that time stops.
Sometimes the gluten strands cause a little bit of snapback. You can be lulled into a false sense of security, thinking, oh, I've got the screen covered. And then as you're stretching another one out, it may shrink on you and expose a little bit of the screen, and you got to go back and correct it.
That's exactly right, Daniel. That's exactly right. Your first dough that goes down, you think you're there, and by the time you get to your 5th one, your first one is shrunk up on you. So you kind of have to have more than 2 eyes moving in this competition, watching all 5 doughs the whole time you're doing it, because if you lose focus on one of those and you have to go back, it does cost you quite a bit of time. You can see he's got all 5 down, but now he's got to go back and he's got to stretch them over the screen. Boom. Dave just stopped his time here. We don't have the official time, but that was pretty fast. I do think that the dough is a little bit tight today, so that was a pretty good showing for that. And we'll get in the official time here in just a second. But you can see flour's flying, fingertips are down, he's pressing all the doughs at once. This is a fun competition, Daniel.
Well, his official time is 2 minutes, 27 seconds, and .91.
2 minutes, 27 seconds. We'll have to see what the rest of the guys do. That is much slower than typically in these competitions, but again, I think that has something to do with the dough being a little bit tight today.
It certainly has not proven to be cooperative dough in the largest dough stretch, and so far, the same story here in Fastest Pie Maker. There again, we see Rick Wheeler.
Yep, Rick Wheeler's up here, no stranger to this competition. Rick Wheeler's one of the best around. He's done this countless times, who even knows. But he's done this many, many times, and he's ready to go. You see him poised and ready, boom, flour going everywhere. I think Dave Summers just got a little bit of flour on him. Nothing he's not used to, but that's what's a lot of fun when you see that big burst of flour in the air. So he's got a double stack, another double stack, and it looks like he's saving a single stack. So he's going to go 2, 2, and 1. You see that's a great overhead shot right there. You see how he's stretching those 2 doughs at the same time. They're getting big already. That is a great technique because he's not going to have to do a lot of slapping, I don't think, when he gets back to those doughs he did. So he did 2, 2. Now he's on 1. He's going to go back through. Look at that. It goes right on the screen, and it's covered. Not even a slap in there. Rick Wheeler knows what he's doing. He came to play today.
For sure. Perhaps he saw a little bit of what Nate Wilson was doing and got an idea for how the dough is. Or maybe
he's got one more dough, I think.
Maybe he collected all that data from the largest dough stretch and gave him an idea on how to handle the same dough for the next event.
I misspoke. He's still got one more. He's got to throw that last one down, and he's done. Super fast time. Never even slapped. Boom. Done. Great time for Rick Wheeler. That's how you do it, folks. That's how you do it.
Right,
he stacked him. He pushed him out. Didn't even have to slap. That was a great job, Rick. Awesome job.
And his official time is 1:05.43.
Minute 5.43. Like I said, much faster than Nathan. He figured it out. He figured out the formula here, and he really just put, I think, really his entire body weight into those doughs as he was trying to push them out in those stacks, and that's how it's done, folks.
That is how it's done. And back for more is Nicole Berglis.
Nicole's back. This is going to be fun to see. Again, Caliente really representing here. I'm sure they're a great pizzeria out there. I'm going to have to get out and try them. Please, if you're in the Pittsburgh area, go out and say hi to them. Obviously, they care about their employees to bring them out here to bring out a whole team. That's wonderful to see, and let's see how Nicole does. Here she goes.
Well, she looked relaxed before she started. This crowd, these cameras, don't seem to be affecting her in the least. This is not her first rodeo. She was previously at our other event that was also televised on ESPN networks.
Yep, she looks like she knows what she's doing. She's doing more of a one-at-a-time technique. Let's see if that pays off for her. She did press and flour all of them, but then she went to one at a time. She got good coverage on that. She may have a small hole in there, but that's nothing to worry about until the end. Yep, she's going to go another one right here. Boom, boom, boom. She's got her heels working there. That's great.
Now, does this skill come in handy on a busy Friday night at a pizzeria?
I'll tell you what, this is probably one of the handiest skills you can have. This has got to be one of the hardest positions to train in a pizzeria. Anybody that owns pizzerias or has worked in pizzerias will tell you that. It's hard to get somebody who doesn't know how to work dough to not only just stretch dough, but keep up with a busy night. So if you get somebody who can come in there and slap dough like a beast like these people are doing, they're making you money. Hands down, they are making you money being able to be this good. This is not a skill you learn overnight, I guarantee you that.
A couple of small holes on that last one. She may have to fix those. It may cost her a few seconds.
Yeah, for sure. She got to go back. I mean, I wouldn't worry about it till the end, but I think Nicole probably wants to go back to the shop and work on this stack technique. That seems to be the most effective technique, really, when you're doing this fast. This is stacking them, trying to get them to stretch out multiple doughs at a time, like you just saw with Rick Wheeler. He stacked them, he hand stretched them on the table, and barely had to do anything from there.
Well, whether or not she wins, Nicole certainly seems to be having a good time.
And that's important. It's not all about winning here. It's about the camaraderie of all of us, pizza people coming together and having fun in these competitions, and not saying anything bad about Nicole. Obviously, she knows how to stretch dough. That's pretty clear to anyone watching this at home.
Fun is the name of the game, and these guys are all having fun.
Yeah, I think everybody has fun coming out to these competitions. I know when I first started to do these competitions, this really invigorated my my career and invigorated everything I was really doing career-wise. I didn't realize that there was competitions like this out there, but once I did, boy, it really built a camaraderie in the industry, and it was great to be able to come out and do things like this. Nicole's done. That was her time. We'll get that official time in. She did a great job.
Next up, we are going to have Mr. John Brubeck.
And her official time is 2 minutes, 43 seconds, .47.
Good job, Nicole. Glad to have her back out here again. Good to see her again. Big props up to Caliente for bringing out these competitors.
Up next is John Brubeck, and he works with Cody Edler. So let's see if some of that veteran experience has also rubbed off on him.
My guess is he's probably gonna know what he's doing. These Domino's guys typically know how to stretch pizzas quickly. As anybody probably knows, Domino's is known for getting you a pizza pretty quickly. So,
let's give a round of applause.
Yep, looks like he knows what he's doing. He's got a double stack, and a single stack. You see how he's just pounding that sucker in there? He's working all of them. Again, that activates that dough, starts to loosen it up so that when you go back to it, it's going to be softened up a little bit.
I don't have a crystal ball, but I feel confident in predicting that this is going to be under 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think he could get you a pizza in under 30 minutes, no doubt about it. You can see he's got that first stack pressed to where it's probably almost as big as the screen is already.
He's working a lot of arm strength, a lot of shoulder strength, putting a lot of muscle into his hustle.
He sure is. Yeah, he's got a little flour flying everywhere. That's a good sign. He's double. I can't keep up with how many stacks he's got going on there, but he's doubled them up and stacked them, and he's stretching them out. And like that dough right there looks like it's about big enough just to go right on the screen. Oh no, that one hit the floor. That's going to cost him some time, no doubt.
The unofficial time has him so far over a minute. He's got his work cut out if he wants to remain on the medal podium.
There he goes, a good flip-flop technique. Unfortunately, he got a little caught up there on the table stretching. And again, it might just be that this dough is a little tougher than some of these competitors thought it was going to be. So when your hands initially touch that dough, you have this this sense of shock, thinking, "Oh no, this is too tight." But guess what? Everybody has to deal with the same dough, so you've got to be able to adapt. You got to be able to adapt. Here he goes, flip flop. You see that? That is classic technique there.
What does the flip flop do?
Well, what it does is it covers the top of the screen and the bottom of the screen without losing any, without giving you any ripples in it, without losing any size. You'll see, I'm sure you'll do the flip flop. Well, we missed it on the camera there, but it's a flip, then a flop. At least that's what I call it. I think it makes sense to me, so hopefully it makes sense to you if you're watching at home. Watch the way he does this. He's going to cover the top of the screen, then the bottom of the screen. It happens very, very quickly. Watch. He'll slap, he'll go flip, then flop. Watch. Flip, flop. See it? That's classic technique on this fastest stretch.
Making a final adjustment on his final dough.
Dave Summers pointing out a couple things that are not covering the screen.
That is costing him some time.
It sure is. I don't think John's going to be too happy with his performance. He's got a few technique issues that he's got to work through, but I can see a lot of potential where he's coming from there. I think maybe his nerves got to him a little bit here on this table stretch area. He kind of was jumping back and forth between piles, but overall it was a good technique. Hopefully he'll be out here next time, and we'll see what he's got next time. Did we get an official time on that one?
His official time was 2 minutes, 54 seconds, .28.
2:54. So if you see, he's got a good slap. He's got the flip and the flop. I think it was just the table work. He was just unsure of how big to get it before he picked it up. Minor details, minor tweaks to work on, but I think he's got some serious potential in here, and he's got one heck of a mustache too. So that goes a long way, Daniel.
Well, it certainly can't hurt. Now on your screen, the returning Landon Butler. He's going to try his hand at the fastest pie maker.
You see how he's arranging the screens? This seems like kind of a silly thing at home, but some people like to have the screens a certain way, and the competitors are able to put them however they want them, whatever makes them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. However they like to have those screens, they can put it up however they want to. That's up to their discretion. You see Landon here, he's moving quickly. That is the key. I know that sounds obvious, but you've got to move fast in this competition. After all, it is the fastest pie maker. So there's one down already, 25 seconds in. I think he's going one at a time here. And although he is moving lightning fast here, if he's going one at a time, it does take a little bit longer than stacking them. So we'll see how he does. That's a good stretch. That's covered. I don't think that's going to snap back, so he won't have to go back and fix any of that. That looks like a double stack there, I think. I hope so.
The intense look of concentration is on his face. Now, does it hurt you to be too focused and too intense? Like, is there some value in being a little relaxed and having fun, or does that make you a little lackadaisical, or does it depend on the individual?
Not at all, Daniel. If you're relaxed in this competition, you're doing it wrong. You have got to push fast, go crazy, go wild. You're not going to win this competition if you're relaxed at all. I know that's probably not the answer a lot of people want to hear, but guess what? It's a fastest competition. For this one and for the box folding that's coming up, you have to move as fast as you can possibly move without, completely shredding it or completely destroying the box, as you'll see in the next competitions. But if you're going to pull back at all, I guess pull back enough that you don't rip the dough. But beyond that, you're going to be right up to that limit for sure.
He's on his final dough.
A really great technique here. If I had a little bit of advice, I would say, start practicing the double and triple stack. You're going to save a lot of time, because this technique right here, his slap, and as he lays it down, really good technique, really great. He's going to have to work on stacking them, multiple stacks, working several doughs at the same time. That was a good showing, and he didn't have to go back and fix any of the doughs, so he's got a little bit of tweaking to do there, but that was a good showing. Great job, Landon.
And his official score comes in at 2 minutes, 7 seconds, .69.
Yeah, not a bad showing at all. Hopefully everybody that's competing today, can watch this when they get home, and they can critique themselves and just get better and better every time they come out here.
You see in the replay, even if you slowed it down to slow motion, it would still look fast. It's fast as pie making.
Yeah, he's moving quickly. There's no doubt about it. Sometimes it's just minor tweaks in technique, but he was moving quickly.
Now back again from Tiki Sam's Pizza. It's Maximus DeRocher.
Here he comes. He's pounding all of them at the same time. There's a triple stack there. Looks like he's got 2 single and a double stack. So he's got a triple stack. He's hand pulling it here and pressing it down. Let's see if he tries to, no, he's going to separate them out and go for it. This will work sometimes too. We'll see how this plays out for him. Okay, I like this idea. He's going to go through all of them. He's going to table stretch each one. This could work to his advantage, because they'll all be nice and relaxed by the time he gets back to them. Assuming he doesn't lose them in that big pile of flour, he should be okay. Once he gets through all 5, he's going to go back through them and slap them quickly. There's the last, there's the 5th dough. If he goes back to the first dough, and there he goes. He needs to pick that up, he needs to slap it and lay it down, and he should be able to blow through these now. Okay, it's already to size, that's a good sign. If he can do that with all 5 quickly, he could be in this competition.
And Maximus opting to go from his left to his right, as opposed to our last competitor, Landon Butler, who went from right to left. It's the competitor's choice. When you do this competition, do you go left to right or right to left?
I go left to right. I set my screens up on the left-hand side, and I build furthest away to closest. That's the way I've always worked in the pizzeria. You want to keep it as systematic, really, as you can. So.
Again, Maximus DeRocher has never competed in one of these competitions before today, so.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's doing a really good job, a really good showing. Minor tweaks to this technique, and he's a real solid competitor in this. He's just got to watch the tapes, watch what some of the other guys do, like Rick Wheeler, who's currently in the lead, and see where he can tweak his technique, because that was great. You can see his doughs are nice and smooth, nice and even, just at the right size. One thing that people do, Daniel, is they overstretch it sometimes. They waste some time trying to make sure they don't have to go back and fix it. But if you can get it like just to that perfect size, then you're utilizing all the time to your advantage. And that looks like what he did. Some minor tweaks to this technique, and he could really be in the running here.
He in fact is in the running. For a first-time competitor, you would never know it with his score of squeaking just under 2 minutes. He has a time of 1 minute 59 seconds, .65.
And what place does that put him in, Daniel?
He's currently in second with that score.
Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I should just shut my mouth, and he obviously knows what he's doing. He had a good technique there, and it looks like it paid off to be in second place. We'll see if we got Tara Hatton up next. We'll see if she has anything to say about it.
And indeed, she will try.
Do or do not, Daniel, there is no try, right?
So they say in the world of Star Wars.
They sure do. Now Tara has chosen to wear a chef coat here. That's always a tricky, constricting piece of clothing to wear in these competitions, at least I've always found. but she's probably comfortable in it. So she's got a double stack there, it looks like, and I can't tell if that's a triple or a double. She's hammering away at it. This is what we're talking about, Daniel. This is the kind of speed and the kind of strength you want to be using on this. You've got to really show, like you said, you got to show this doe who's boss. There she goes, a little bit of spinning.
Warming up for the acro competition a little bit later, perhaps.
That's covered. She's got to move on and keep going at this speed. She's got to keep going at this speed. There's an interesting technique. She's just going to pull it. I don't think she's too far off, so she could probably just about place those down.
That is interesting, having a stack of 2 or 3 and pulling them all.
Yep. She's there.
She may be onto something here.
She is. She needs to place those on the screens. I think she's already big enough, to be honest. I'm not even sure that she needs to slap those. She did such a great job of stretching them in the beginning. That's number 4. She has one more, and she's got a good showing here.
Tara making little work of this.
Now on her final doe. See where she comes in at once all is said and done. The young woman from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Master Dave Summers pointing out areas she needs to fix.
Look at that concentration on her face. Boom, is that time? Does she have to fix one? She got to fix 1, 2, done. That was a good time. That was a really good time, Tara. Great job. Great job. And I'm telling you, like I said before, Daniel, you've got to really hit this one hard. You've got to go fast. You've got to go strong, or you will not be in this. You will not be in this race.
She comes in at a time of 1 minute, 32 seconds, .44.
That's got to be good enough for second place. Is that right, Daniel?
I believe so.
And also in the freestyle acrobatics.
Great job, Tara. How many more competitors do we have here to go? Because she just put herself right in the running there, didn't she?
We've got 3 more after Tara Haddon.
3 more. Let's see where that stands. That is exactly how you want to do that competition. Tara just hit it head on, fast, strong. That's how that's done. For anybody interested in jumping into these competitions, anybody watching at home that wants to come out and compete, remember, when it's a fastest competition, you got to move fast. That's the name of the game.
We'll see what Matt Hickey has to say in this competition, the fastest pie maker. Once again, if you're just joining us, they simply have to stretch 5 dough balls to cover 10-inch screens, 5 10-inch screens. No part of the screen can be showing, no holes can be larger than a dime. Matt Hickey, also hailing from Caliente Pizza and Draft House in Pittsburgh, as are a couple of the competitors here today.
Here's the countdown. He's doing 2 hands, 1 on each dough, and a stack. He's pressing them out, fingertips first, trying to hit it hard. The guys over at Caliente got to be proud of their guys here, really putting on a good show. Oh, he's trying to throw some tricks in there. Looks nice. Not always the best idea when you're doing the fastest. You got to stay focused. All technique.
Perhaps Matt Hickey subscribes to the idea that anything worth doing is worth doing with style.
I guess so. That's one way. That's one way to look at it. The only issue is, like I said, with these fastest competitions, you got guys who may not be acrobats. They're out here to slam out some doughs. So if you're trying to compete with them, you gotta go. You gotta go hard.
Speed is the name of the game.
Yeah, it sure is. This is the fastest stretch competition, and that's all there is to it. You have to stretch it, and you have to stretch it fast.
If he lacked any concentration before, he certainly has it now. He's staring intensely at the dough, breathing a little heavy, actually.
Yeah, he's back on track here. You can tell by how hard he's slapping that it is definitely some tight dough, and that, of course, is a really big challenge in this competition. You really want it to be nice and silky and smooth and work with you, but you know what? Guess what? Sometimes it just isn't. But you've got to be able to recover from that after the first or second dough. Realize what you got to do. Adjust your technique. He's doing a good job here. He's got 3 really nice stretches so far. He's got 2 more to go, so he's just got to keep his cool and go with it.
Well, in other sports, the playing field sometimes changes. Similar to the dough in golf, some courses are harder than other courses. Sometimes in these competitions, the dough is a little tougher than in other competitions. There's always a little bit of randomness to the quality of the dough. It's always going to fluctuate a little bit. And these competitors have to adjust to the different dough types to be consistently successful.
That's exactly right. Just like with, like you said, with golf, everybody's playing the same course. Everybody's using the same dough. So it isn't an even playing field, even though it may be a different dough from competition to competition. Per competition, it's the same batch of dough that they're all using out of. So everybody's got to do the same thing and got to figure it out for themselves.
It looked for a second there that Matt Hickey was talking to himself.
I think he's talking over with Dave Summers. Dave Summers is probably giving him some words of encouragement, or maybe they're just joking around with each other. I'm not exactly sure. That they seem to be having a good time. It's nice
a little bit of a back and forth going on there.
Yeah. It's nice that you can still do that while you're in the middle of trying to slam out doughs as quickly as you possibly can. He's got a couple of screens here to fix.
The unofficial timer showing well over 3 minutes. Let's see what the official time says.
Let's give a round of applause.
Yeah, I can tell you what we really need to. These people have got to start working on is this double and triple stack. Even a 5 stack is something to play with. It's going to save you a ton of time. I can tell you from personal experience going one at a time. I did that many times, and although it makes sense in the pizzeria in this competition, it's always better to stack them and however you feel more comfortable and try to blow through them that way. At least that's what I found, Daniel.
Well, Matt Hickey is probably not too happy with his score. We've got a time of 3 minutes 11 seconds .71. It's the slowest time we've had today. Had just a little trouble with that extra tough dough. Just not his friend today.
Right, yeah, it does throw some people off, and you've got to be able to adjust. I can tell you, going one at a time like that and having to go back and forth will really cost you a lot of time. But you know what? There's always next time, and I think he'll come back and recover. Here we go with Max.
Now we saw Max have a lot of trouble with the dough in largest dough stretch. Let's see if he can make up for that in the fastest pie maker. Maybe speed will be his friend.
Good technique so far. Oh, that one's already on the screen. That's a good sign. Got to just pick up the pace. Got to just pick up the pace a little bit here. If we're covering screens that quickly, that's what we want to be doing. Really good showing.
That's 2 screens down.
Yep.
3 to go.
You see how Max is just putting all of his body weight right into that, just leaning into that table. That's how you do it. Like Dave Summers said, you got to make the dough do what you want it to do, and that's how you do it. You just lean into it, put your whole body weight into it, and make that dough do what you want.
You can see the whole table flexing with his weight.
Yep. No slap, no spin, nothing fancy. Leaning into it, pressing it out, and making it to size. That's how it's done, folks. Again, another caliente. Awesome that they brought out this many competitors. Says a lot about their pizzeria. Says a lot about how much they care about their employees. That's fantastic to see.
Not a lot of finesse in Max Mathias' style. Just all brute force.
That's right, and that's sometimes that's what it takes on this. Only have 1 left. We still have a pretty good time going so far. Get it out to the size and put it down. Seem to be running out of steam here.
Cardio is king.
Cardio's king. Yeah, who would think? Who would think in a pizza competition you'd need that cardio?
But here we are.
Here we are. You got to have some stamina. There it is. Last one. Fix the hole. I think we're there. We'll see what Dave Summers says. And we got a few more little issues to deal with.
Pointing out the screen that has to be covered. Oh, and another one.
Time. There it is. Good showing. Good technique. We'll see what that official time was.
Next up, we have our final competitor, Mr. Joshua Owens of Mad Mushroom Pizza in Lafayette, Indiana. His first competition here. His one goal has been to beat Rick Wheeler.
All right. Our final competitor is going to be Joshua Owens, again, the first timer. Our announcer on stage, Brian Hernandez, just announced that his only real goal is just to beat his co-worker, Rick Wheeler.
Well, that's the man to beat right now, so he's got a really good goal in mind, because that's who's in first place. Looks to me like Josh went and changed his shirt or something, because he looks almost clean again after that largest stretch, which I believe he won the largest stretch, didn't he?
That's what the scores say.
Yeah, so let's see if he can win the fastest too. Boy, that'd be nice to go home with two medals, wouldn't it?
It would.
Boom, flowers flying. That's what we want to see, folks. You want to see flower flying. You can see he's putting all of his strength into that. That dough is big enough. He's going to set it down. That's the technique you want. I don't know how many seconds that was, but it wasn't a lot. And that's what you want every time. Just a few seconds per dough. Nothing fancy. That dough is big enough. He's going to set that down. He's going to go to the next dough. This is how it's done. Again, coming from the Dave Summers family. Dave, I'm sure, has probably spent many nights up having a few cold ones and telling these guys what the secrets are, and it shows. Look at this.
Well, Rick Wheeler, his co-worker, has the time to beat with a minute 05.43.
And I don't see the unofficial time, but I say he's on track to beat that or be really close. He's got one more dough. He has got to blow through it. Looks like he's got one to fix.
And to review, the final score for the previous competitor, Max Mathias, was 2 minutes, 19 seconds.
Losing some steam on this one. He's down. I know he's going to have to fix at least one.
Looks like at least two now.
Lay it down. That's got to be time. Oh, no. Oh, he lost a few seconds there. He's still going to have one of the best times, no doubt about it. I don't think he beat Rick Wheeler, but he definitely is up there. Fantastic showing from Josh. You see right here the flower just explodes. That's what's a lot of fun to watch on this. Looks like Mad Mushroom can make you a pretty quick pizza from the looks of it, Daniel.
It sounds like it. His official time is 1 minute, 25 seconds, .96.
So he just squeaked by Tara. It looks like he ended up in second place there.
Not enough for the gold, but good enough for silver.
Yeah, but you know what? Mad Mushroom's bringing home 2 medals in that category, so they've got to be happy as a company to bring that home and show the world.
Approach a commercial.
All right. We're going to have some important messages, and we'll be right back for more pizza action after this.
Right. Take it out. Here we take the pepperoni pizza out of the oven, and it looks just beautiful.
Want a slice?
Yes, I would love a slice. So out comes our beautiful Neapolitan pizza.
You like it?
Bubbling.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
You cook it in 1 minute 40 seconds.
This is Joey Lanova, the Wing King, and Joey Lanova Jr., the Wing King also.
We have the best wings, we have the best bites, we have the best sauces. We had Carrot Top. He emceed our chicken wing eating contest, and let me tell you about it. It was unbelievable. And this is what Lanova is all about. We're one big, happy family.
Cheese lovers.
We are back, and we are ready for the fastest box folding. This is an event that, as you might guess by its name, will not take a lot of time. There on your screen you see Rick Wheeler who already took first place in the fastest pie maker, is going to try and add a second medal by getting fastest box folder here. No stranger to this sport. He's a cagey veteran, and he's making short work of these pizza boxes.
Yeah, he sure is. You can see actually a little bit of disappointment on his face there at the end of those last two because that last little flap stuck on him, but now he's rolling right along. He's a great competitor at this event. Much like the fastest dough, you have got to blow through these boxes as fast as possible. You got to go right to that point of almost crushing that box if you want to win this.
And crush them he did in only 35 seconds and change.
35 seconds, not a bad time. You know, that definitely can be beat if somebody steps up here and comes to play. But 35 seconds isn't a bad place to start. Here you got Dave Summers, who is, I don't even know, maybe 6-7-time national champion in pizza box folder. So fast you can barely see him moving. He's lightning fast at this. He knows how to do this better than probably anybody that I know of. So he's just the man to be the judge of this. Here we go with Nicole again. She's got a good technique. This is all about muscle memory, getting this box to do exactly what it's supposed to do
in the shortest amount of time possible.
As fast as you can, Daniel. That's the name of the game here. There's really no mystery here. You have to fold that box fast as possible, and it will only do that if you use the proper technique every time.
This is an event that a person with a long history of working in pizzerias might have a lot of experience in, considering they fold boxes quite often and on an almost daily basis.
Well, I think that this is probably a competition that was born out of necessity. You sit in the pizzeria day in and day out, and you fold hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of boxes. Well, you sit and say to the guy or girl next to you, "Hey, I bet I can fold these faster than you." You guys race. Before you know it, it's a national competition, and here we are. So I know in my experience, I've met plenty of people who thought they could fold faster than me, or they wanted to see, or whatever the case may be, and here's your chance to come out and prove it. So this is a really fun competition. Might seem kind of silly to some people at home who don't work in pizzerias maybe, but believe me, with the amount of pizza boxes you go through, this is couldn't be a more relevant competition, to be honest with you.
Well, Nicole's time came in at a minute 04.
Minute 04, not a bad time. If you're in the pizzeria and you can fold them that quick, that's a good thing. You see this is an interesting technique here. Max had him lay all 5 boxes all the way out down the table. I haven't seen that before, but that must be what he's most comfortable with. And kind of makes sense because they're out of each other's way. But he does run the risk of the box falling off the table at some point with him being that spread out. So hopefully that doesn't happen to him. But
seems like those first tabs are giving a couple of people a few problems.
Sure are. What I've always done, Daniel, is you grab it right there in that middle hole, you'll see, and you snap it backwards. That will actually break the seal on those 2 tabs on the side, and you don't have that happen to you. Of course, that's easy to say sitting here next to you, but that's how I've always done it. Great time. That seemed really fast to me. Unofficial was 42 seconds. We'll see what the official comes in at. He blew through those boxes pretty quick, I thought.
Pretty quick, especially for a first-time competitor.
No doubt.
His official score is 42 seconds, .03.
Not too bad. Not too bad at all. I think Rick still holds first place here. We'll see if anybody else has got something to say about that.
Well, Matt Hickey thinks he has something to say, and that's why he's coming out here to attempt to beat this record.
Matt Hickey of Calientes.
Dave Summers going over some of the rules, I think, asking him how he wants them set up. I bet you Dave Summers got a little itch in his hand. He wants to fold those up himself, but he's got to sit back and mentor the rest of these guys.
It gets in your blood, doesn't it, Jamie?
It sure does. Even me sitting here now, I'd like to get up there and just do a little practice run, see where I come in. Oh, he knocked a box off. I don't know what the rules are this year, but that could cost him. It's got to be on the table. Yeah, it's got to be on the table. You can't just fold it and throw it around. It's got to stay on the table. He did correct that pretty quickly, pretty flawlessly. He's running a really killer time. He keeps this up. He could take first place, I think. Get that last one. Push, Matt. Get that last one. You got this. Put it on the table. 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 So close. So close. That was a really fast time. You see that, guys? That is how you do it. You got to go as fast as you can.
That front tab, it seemed like on the last box it gave him a little bit of problem, and that may have just cost him the second or two he needed. It could have been the difference between first and second, silver and gold. And it looks like his score is 34 seconds, .84, which currently puts him in the lead.
That is the lead. That's a gold right there. And I'll tell you what, if he hadn't dropped that box off the table, he would have been even faster. So that was a really good showing. Looks like somebody's been practicing, huh?
But will those extra key few seconds cost him? Does it leave the door open for somebody else to come in and take that gold?
It absolutely does. You know, this is a competition of seconds or even milliseconds. I mean, it's all about technique here. If you have a slight stumble, I've seen people lose this competition with just slight half a second differences. You almost have to do it completely perfect to win this. Max is doing that right now. Great technique. Great technique here, no real flubs. Got to blow through that last box.
A little slowdown on that front tabs,
Close it.
flat.
Oh.
Right, Max.
Really nice run. That's what this is all about.
We'll see what the official time is. It looks pretty close on the unofficial time. And officially, we are looking at 37.16 seconds.
Not bad. I think that's good enough for third place for now, right?
Perhaps so. And our final competitor, Joshua Owens. He's already earned a medal today. Let's see if he can get another one in box folding. Again, he says his only real goal is to beat Rick Wheeler, his co-worker. And he has the advantage of seeing Rick go first in, so far, all these events, knowing what he would have to do in order to beat him. I'm not sure if probably by random draw, it just happened that way, but it's a lucky break for him.
My guess is Josh and Rick Wheeler have probably spent a few times running through this competition at the shop. I'm gonna have to talk to a competitor too about snapping that flat back. That's a little technique that I learned years and years ago that gets that big flap out of your way in the beginning. If you see where he's putting his fingers through in the very beginning, he grabs through that hole. If you snap that backwards, it gets it out of the way of the two flaps on the side.
Oh, it's going to be close. He may have this.
27-28. I think he just took first place. Boom. Man, Josh is just killing it today. He has just killed it. That's how you do it, folks. You see how he just pushed through as fast as possible. That is the name of the game.
Again, the time to beat is 35 seconds, .16, and Joshua Owens has done it with a score of 30 seconds, .32.
Josh came to play. I'll tell you what, when I pulled up, he was drinking an energy drink when I got here today, and that may have been the difference that helped him out. You see he just blowing through those boxes, almost like they're folding themselves. Boom, boom, no worries in the world. Even when there's a slight mishap with the box, he keeps his cool, snaps it, makes it do what it's supposed to do, and folds it up. That was great. Great showing, Josh.
We're going to be back after this break with freestyle acrobatics.
Cheese lovers in Italy have always known it. Now more and more Americans are discovering that. Shred after shred, dish after dish, day after delicious day. Shredding Galbani mozzarella yourself inspires meals and moments that are simply better. Galbani, Italy's favorite cheese brand. Now America's #1 block mozzarella.
This year marks the 100th anniversary of Peerless Ovens. We are proud of the relationship we have built with pizzerias in the U.S. and abroad throughout the years, bringing tradition and innovation to the industry. Look for Peerless Ovens to make sure you get the best pizza.
Joined by Jacko and his friends as they solve The Curse of Hurley Ridge by author M.A. Carlson, available wherever fine audiobooks are sold.
And we are back, and we are ready to start the freestyle acrobatics. Always a popular segment of these competitions. And this year, there's a lot at stake on the line. The winner of the freestyle acrobatics gets a chance to compete in London at the European Pizza and Pasta Show, November 13th through 15th, later this year.
This is going to be great, Daniel. You know, it's no secret. This is my favorite competition to watch. Freestyle acrobatics. This is these guys and girls. They spend hours and hours and hours of their own free time learning new tricks, practicing these routines. Of course, these are set to music. It's like an expression of themselves. I'm excited to see this. Nathan Wilson, of course, one of the best up-and-coming acrobats there is today. Let's see what he's got. Here we go.
He's already working the crowd. Looking smooth to begin with.
Nice spin. There we go, trying to pump the crowd up. Good technique. Some nice whips through the legs. Very nice. It's always good to get the crowd into it. Two doughs at once, not easy to do, folks. Two doughs with one hand, fantastic.
I think he wanted to grab there that he missed. It actually got a little piece of his hat, but it's not slowing him down.
Nope.
He is making it rain flour.
He sure is. Yeah, there's flour all over his face. I've had that happen to me more than a few times, and it's fun, and the crowd likes it, but it can be a little distracting. Nice shoulder roll there. Good release trick. That was nice. Going to do a little groundwork. This is some classic groundwork. You got a hole in it, get rid of it. That's a great move. Once that pops a hole in there, you just want to get rid of it and move on. Oh, a handstand, that was nice. Oh, that's a tough one. Very nice. Very nice. You see how he's doing it to the music. The crowd is into it. One of the biggest things they're judging you on is synchronization, entertainment value. There he is. Work the crowd. Throwing the dough out to the crowd. People are loving it.
One would have to think he's going to get an almost perfect score for entertainment value.
Nathan is getting better and better every time you see him. He's starting to really understand how this works. Starting to understand the importance of making sure people are feeling what he's doing. Getting the crowd involved. Big sky high behind the back. Beautiful. Nicely done, Daniel. You almost got hit with a piece of dough there. That was dangerous.
I got a little dough in my lap here.
That's right. Who knew? Who knew it was going to be full contact? Great job, Nathan. That was awesome.
All right, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Chris Green. He's got an interview. Take it away, Chris.
Nathan Wilson, nice job, man. You look like you're having fun out there.
Oh, always having fun when I'm doing this.
Yeah, I know.
I live for this stuff.
Yeah, I know you got an excellent work ethic. You put a lot of time in. How long you been practicing for this event?
For this event specifically, I just practice every day. No matter if I'm just not at work, I'm just always picking them up and doing it.
And I was loving that two dough with one hand, man.
Oh, yeah. That's something I picked up was just like working with it's like all the other guys. Sorry, I'm just really exhausted after that. After like seeing all the Koreans and all the people from Japan and seeing all their tricks and stuff.
How was the how was the dough?
Oh, my dough. Well, I made this myself, so it was wonderful.
It looked like it held up well.
Oh yeah, nice and dense. Just the way I like it, so I could do all the crazy tricks I want to do.
Well, nice job, Nathan. Great job.
Thank you so much.
Daniel, back to you, sir.
All right, thank you, Chris Green.
Yep.
All right.
And we're going to get ready for our next competitor. We've got 4 today. You saw Nathan Wilson. Matt Hickey will be up next, followed by Tara Hatton and Ryan LaRose, who has won one of our competitions before.
Oh, Ryan LaRose is a legend in freestyle acrobatics. I don't know when the last time he competed was, but I can tell you he has led the way in some acrobatic styles for many years. I'm definitely excited to see his routine and see what he's got for us. He is fast as lightning, and he is a master of the front bicycle, which you may not know what that is at home, but you're about to find out when he steps on the stage. I guarantee you that. I'm excited to see his routine.
You see the large crowd that this freestyle acrobatics has drawn. They are loving every minute of this, especially that last routine, because it has so much entertainment value.
That's right. We got a really good crowd today, and the crowd's really into it. That's fantastic for the guys who are competing, guys and girls that are competing. They love the crowd interaction. It really pumps them up. I'm excited to see Matt here. We saw him last time. I was watching him before, doing a little practice, and I think he's gotten even better. I'm excited to see what he's got here. He's got a look of confidence on his face. Let's see what he's got, Daniel. Chest roll, that was nice. Little shoulder roll. Picks up what appears to be a little bit bigger dough.
He's going large.
He sure is. Yeah, you know, sometimes the judges really like to see those large doughs. It looks better. It's better showmanship when they're large like that. And of course, for judges who may or may not be acrobats themselves, they just really like the looks of it. Here we go, 2 doughs. Very nice. Behind the back with 2 does. That was nice, and a nice catch. Nice grab. Oh, under the leg, over the back.
Looks like there's a problem with his music.
Oh man, the music cut off. That's not good. That'll throw you off in your routine. Didn't seem to bother him too much. He's still going. He was trying a little foot trick there. Shoulder roll.
That technical error may have taken him out of his element a little bit.
That was a nice little trick there. That was good. You just got to stay focused, hit what he knows. Nice catch, double release. That was nice. Throws the dough out to the crowd. They love that. Here's your bicycle right here. Work the crowd. Very nice.
Big smile. He's having fun.
He is having fun. That's important.
He's gotten back into his element.
Mickey, great job. Good show.
That was fantastic.
He keeps going like a true professional.
And once again, we're going to kick it down to our sideline reporter who has him. What do you got for us, Chris?
Matt Hickey, excellent performance. I saw you blow one of the judges a kiss over there.
Yes, my man Dave Summers.
Looked like you were having fun out there. How did this competition compare to your previous one in Columbus?
So, Columbus was fun. It was great, but since Columbus, I've kind of worked on some tricks, which didn't really execute here as well. But, you know, yeah, I just had a lot more fun here. I picked a different song, more upbeat. I come from like a punk background, so it really worked, you know.
I thought you had great crowd involvement as well. And how was the dough?
That was good. That was good, a little soft, but you know, it is what it is. You work with it, and yeah, kind of go back to the ones that aren't so bad.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was a great performance. Thank you, Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Matt Hickey, ladies and gentlemen. Daniel, back to you.
All right, thank you, Chris. There you see Tara Hatton, our next competitor. It's getting ready to go. If you are a wrestling fan, you may recognize the stable, the Bullet Club. Well, Tara Hatton is apparently a member of the Pizza Club. And that shirt, I don't want to say it's a copy, but we'll say it's an homage to a certain shirt that is pretty popular over in Japanese wrestling.
Well, I'll tell you what, if there is a Pizza Club, Tara Hatton is certainly a part of it. She has made big waves in the last year or two in the athletic competitions here. I suspect she has probably got a really good routine lined up for us. She made big impact last time. She made big impact in Vegas not that long ago. I imagine this is going to be a killer routine. Let's see what she's got.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up.
Here she goes, very nice smooth technique. She's keeping her dominant direction left to right hand. That's super key. Just keep that dough spinning. There she is with a bicycle. Very nice. Sky high, shoulder roll.
I got facts over tracks, isn't that spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if
very nice technique. See how she smoothly transitions from hand to hand. That's what the judges want to see. Oh, beautiful. Shoulder roll, under the leg grab off the shoulder roll, fantastic. There she goes with 2 doughs.
I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah. Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help.
Nice. Same direction, 2 does over the shoulder. Really nice. I'll tell you what, Tara puts on a really great routine.
No doubt about it. Oh, go for a
Oh, she's going for the handstand shoulder roll. Wow, that was fantastic.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and
She's got 2 does up in the air.
and make a statement, gonna learn the consequence.
Small drop there, no big deal. She recovered nicely. Double shoulder roll, very nicely done. She's going for 2 does groundwork. Beautiful technique here, under the legs. She's transitioned to the single. Under the legs. Really nice. Beautiful, beautiful technique. Tara has really been working hard on this. You can tell, it really shows. Look at that technique. You can see how that dough opens up every time it goes over her shoulder. That is fantastic. Tara has really just come a long way. Look at the smile on her face too. She's loving this. I'll tell you what, we're getting dangerous now. Beautiful technique. She is killing it. Really nice. She's got the crowd all pumped up behind her. She is just murdered right now. Great job, Tara. Continuous shoulder roll there. I call that the never-ending shoulder roll. Oh, she did another handstand. What? Great job, Tara. She is just getting better and better every time we see her.
The crowd is solidly behind her.
Very energetic performance.
I tell you what, every time she throws something at the crowd, they pop for it.
That's right. Yeah, that's a little trick of the trade there.
All right, we're going to go down to our sideline reporter, Chris Green, who has her.
All right, I'm with Tara Hatton. Don't be fooled. This is her on the cover of PMQ Pizza Magazine. I see you going incognito with the glasses here today. Winning championships all over the place. Great performance. Love the handstand. How'd you feel up there?
I definitely could have done better. I traveled away, so my dough definitely altered a little bit on the ride here. So if that was different, I probably could have done a lot better.
Yeah, the dough is big, but you did a great job with the dough that you had, I thought. And how did this compare to some of your previous competitions that you've taken part in?
I mean, this is definitely probably one of the funnest ones we do. I like coming to the ones out here in Columbus. I know a lot of the people, so it's definitely very friendly here. So I definitely like that.
Did you add the handstand to your arsenal? Have you been doing that for a long time?
I just kind of started doing it. I'm still working on it, but once I can get it consistent, then it's perfect for me. So
I thought it was a great job. Great job, Tara. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, gentlemen. Tara Hatton, excellent performance. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right, our fourth and final competitor is Ryan LaRose. And it's been a stiff competition. We'll see what he has to say about the results of who is going to win the trip to Europe. He's getting ready. He's laying his dough out where he wants it. I tell you what, if you want more pizza content,
Here we go.
you could be part of the pizza crowd on Roku. Download our Pizza TV Roku app on your smart device.
In Columbus, Ohio.
I'll tell you what, Daniel, Ryan LaRose is one of the best acrobats of all time. I've competed with him side by side many, many, many times, including at the World Championships in Italy. He is one of the cleanest, smoothest, fastest competitors that there ever has been. I expect to see a really good routine right now. Hold on to your hats, people. Here we go. You see his transitions are smooth. That is the front roll bicycle. He's a master of that. There we go. See that front roll? He is just as smooth as it gets on that. He's got a cool pizza shirt on too. I like it. Look at how fast that dough's going. He's just tearing through that stuff. Little flare right there. You see how he's just ripping through that dough. Oh, that was beautiful. Did you see that?
I saw every bit of it.
Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, he's a master. He's going to be the one to beat today. Under the leg, over the shoulder.
Doesn't like that one, gonna get rid of it, try with another one.
Yeah, when that dough gets a little bit misshapen, it's hard to work with. Beautiful shoulder roll.
He may have had a little bit of a drop there. Those drops count off points.
Yeah, his difficulty level, though, is a little bit higher than a lot of some of the other competitors. Beautiful technique on the ground there. Absolutely perfect. If you get the overhead shot here, you can see how beautiful that looks. That's a nice move right there. Little table roll. Beautiful. Look at the speed.
He's down to his last two doughs. Let's see what he can do with them.
Crossing him over. Boom. Oh, he lost that one in the front. He's going to go back and grab it. This is his last dough.
Oh my, he's on fire.
Boom, that was a beautiful move. That was beautiful. Very nice, very nicely done. I think he might be looking for another dose if he's got one that still survives. There it is, very good job, Ryan LaRose, a true master of the art of freestyle pizza acrobatics, showing him how it's done. That was great.
All right, we're going to kick it down to Chris Green one more time with Ryan LaRose.
I'm with Ryan LaRose, one of the greatest practitioners of the forward bicycle you're ever going to see. How'd you feel out there today, man?
I felt pretty good. I was a little nervous. I haven't done this in a while, so I felt good, though.
You've been pizza spinning a long time. I thought it was a beautiful performance. And what about that handstand? And you were handstanding forward to get to the dough, and you got it.
I got it, yeah. I was afraid to do that handstand today, man, I'll be honest, but I got it, so.
Absolutely beautiful. How was the dough today?
It was good. Yeah, it was real good. Real cold, real tight. It was great.
And you're, what pizzeria are you at now?
Pies and Pints in Columbus. Yeah.
Ryan LaRose, thanks so much, man.
Brother.
Great job.
Yeah.
All right, gentlemen, back to you.
Ryan LaRose from Pies and Pints in Columbus, Ohio. This is kind of a hop, skip, and a jump from here. Look at that beautiful handstand you see in the replay.
You see how he didn't quite grab it, but by the time his feet came back to the ground, he had worked his way forward, picked it up, and picked it up and grabbed it again. That was really impressive. I'll tell you what, it's just awesome to see a guy like Ryan LaRose back on the scene.
All right, while they finish tabulating all the scores, we're going to cut away for a commercial break, and we'll be with you in a moment. All right. Jamie, I see you've come out of the broadcast booth. You got a dough on your hands. I think you're going to tell us a little about it, aren't you?
Yeah, I was going to just kind of go over a couple of basic things with this freestyle acrobatic. I know some of the people at home probably aren't quite sure how it works, but you know, your basic technique is just tossing it in the air like that, and then really where it all starts is what's called the whip. So you're going to go from here, you're going to go down here like this, and it's like a whip like this. From that movement, you're going to go back and forth, keeping that dough spinning all the time. And that whip, whether it be a dominant direction like this with me or a non-dominant with your left hand, that's how you're going to really lead into the rest of these tricks. So you see how the idea is that you're just keeping that dough going all the time. This is that front roll Ryan LaRose does so well. And this leads you to any of the tricks that you want to do, whether it be under the leg, which is harder to do with the headset on, of course, Daniel, but, or just singular spinning on your finger here. Some of the other tricks, like a shoulder roll. Oh, of course, I dropped it too, but that's what happens when you get to be my age.
Well, you are a world champion yourself.
I am, just a couple years ago.
It doesn't look like you lost a step at all.
Well, thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. But, really, for me, it's just about the basics. These are some of the real basic tricks that can lead into many, many of these other tricks that you saw today. But this is what it's all about, getting that dough to be a nice big dough and leading into some other maybe signature tricks that you came up with. Here's your bicycle, which is your typical bicycle. And then you see like how Ryan LaRose did it. It's a reverse bicycle here. I'll spare you the handstand here with the headset on. That might get a little dangerous.
That might be for the best.
You got a nice one called the tissue. You grab it here. It forms into what looks like a little tissue. Oh, there's another drop. Good thing the judges aren't watching this one today, Daniel.
Speaking of judges, you've been both a competitor and a judge. What are the different categories of things that they score on when you're judging?
Well, you've got, obviously, you're going to get scored off for dropping, but you've got creativity, synchronization. You've got several different categories as far as, crowd interaction. It just, there's a lot of different things that they're looking for. But to be honest with you, what the main part is did you drop it? Are you having fun? Is it controlled? Is everybody enjoying what they're seeing? Does it kind of make sense? And does it go along to the music? That's what you're really looking for.
Is it important to develop a theme for the routine?
I always thought so. Some people come out and just try to do the hardest tricks they can think of. For me, most of your judges and your crowd are basically, laymen. They don't know. So if they can be entertained by what you're doing, if they can follow along with your music, follow along with your theme, they're going to have a much better time doing it. So for me, that's what it was all about. It was all about giving them the show. That's what I always came to do.
Scott Volpe, at the most recent World Championship, won the gold medal. And when I spoke to him, he said that he liked to come out and he had some high spots that he knew he was going to do at certain points. And then the middle parts were improvised. That way, he didn't have a full routine all planned out. So if one thing went wrong, it wouldn't get out of sync in a chain reaction. Is that the way that you would perform?
Yeah, that's exactly right, Daniel. I know that when I first started competing, I wanted to try to hit everything trick for trick, but sometimes you get lost when you do that.
All right, Jamie. Well, we're going to go take another commercial break and be back with the award ceremony for the Acrobatic Pizza Trials here in Toledo. We are back here in Toledo, Ohio at Sofo's Signature Showcase. It is the Spring United States Pizza Team Acrobatic Trials. Somebody here is going to win a free trip to Europe to compete at the London Pizza and Pasta Show. I misspoke. The European Pizza and Pasta Show located in London.
That's going to be really exciting, Daniel. What an opportunity, like I said earlier, to go out to London and compete in the championship out there. I mean, who would have thought when you're making pizzas probably at 16, 17, 18 years old, you're going to end up in London one day spinning pizza dough. But that's a reality. It's going to be a reality for somebody today.
It absolutely is. You've been to Europe several times. You've competed in Europe several times. Is the pressure different there?
Oh, my gosh. You kidding me? Pressure's a lot different from London than Toledo, Ohio. I can assure you of that. I mean, for one, you're traveling all the way across the world. Your friends, your family, everybody in the U.S. Pizza Team is looking at you now. They've got expectations, and I mean it's a whole different world. I mean it's a whole different world going out there and competing on the big stage. There's no doubt about that.
What was it like when you see the clips we saw just a moment ago in the commercial break, the clip of you being carried on your shoulders after winning the World Championship? When you see that clip, are you taken back to that moment?
Oh, God, yes. I mean, that was like one of the most amazing experiences of my life. I mean, when you're in Italy, and I went there for, 7 or 8 different times, taking second place twice. to finally win that world championship was just an amazing experience that I wish I could relive every year. Maybe one year I'll get back out there and try it again, but I'll tell you what, it really doesn't get any better than that.
Well, in the meantime, Scott Volpe, also of the United States Pizza Team, is the most recent winner of the gold medal World Championship in Freestyle Acrobatics.
Yep, Scott Volpe. Hey, that guy is amazing. I mean, what an acrobat, a true acrobat. I mean, with handstands and the break dancing and everything, it's just crazy. And then he just came home with the gold medal in Italy this year. That makes two of us on the U.S. Pizza Team to really have recently won out there. I mean, we're really kicking butt, and we're making a name for ourselves out there. Look out, world! U.S. Pizza Team's coming for you.
And they are still doing some tabulation on the scores, but I would like to take a minute to thank one of our sponsors who provided all the flour for this event, Graincraft. Power Flour is Graincraft's premium high-gluten flour. High-gluten power flour for the perfect pizza crust. And of course, we want to thank all the rest of our sponsors, including our platinum sponsor, Galbani Professionale. They've been pretty good to us over the years. We really appreciate them.
Oh yeah, Galbani cheese is one of the best cheeses out there. They've been so good to the U.S. Pizza Team, have taken care of us and sponsored us through so many events. We love those guys, and they love us back.
You see a shot of the crowd there. People are waving.
Yeah, it's a big crowd. Look at how many people are here, and look at all the people that have watched this event. It's a really good turnout.
There's Joshua waiting anxiously to see what his score is going to be. Can he beat the man next to him, Rick Wheeler? We're going to find out.
Those two are taking home some medals today for sure. They both did a really good job, so I'm sure they're glad that they came out.
How many medals do you have on your wall?
Oh, Daniel, let's not get me started. To be honest, to keep it somewhat humble, I'm not even really sure. It's somewhere between 30 and 40. I've got a few of them displayed up at the restaurant back home in Safety Harbor, Florida. But I've got quite a few.
If you're watching and you're interested in getting involved in this competition, if you're interested in competing, you can visit uspizzateam.com and keep visiting that site. Follow us on social media. Look for the hashtag #PizzaGold. Keep up to date with any competitions we're having. You'll find the registration forms online. You'll be able to register if you want to compete for this or that competition. We have one coming up in June in the Boston area. If you live in the New England area and you want to compete in one of these events, we got one coming up your way. Go to uspizzateam.com and register today.
I urge you guys to get out there and compete. You know, if you want to have a fun, exciting job beyond just sitting at the pizza shop and making pizzas all day, get out there and compete. Make a name for yourself. Come meet some of us that are in the industry. Come make some pizza friends, and come show us what you got. I mean, what other business can you really can you do that in? There's just not a lot out there. Come join us. Come compete. Let's see what you got. Show us what you got.
Well, JB, you kind of referenced it earlier, but if you win some medals or get some notoriety from some of these competitions, that's good for marketing for your pizzeria if you own one, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you know, of course you want to come out here and you want to show people that you're great at making pizzas, you're great at stretching dough, but let's get real. I mean, we're in the business to make some money, and of course you're going to take these medals home. You're going to have media blasts out into your market, and you're going to market to people. Say, hey, I've got the best pizza maker. I've got the best acrobat in the world. I've got the best fastest stretcher in the world. Whatever the competition is, people want to come to your pizzeria and see that. And of course, the more pizzas you sell, the more money you make. It's a business. That's what we're here to do. All right, wrap it up.
All right, we are getting ready to give out the awards here at the Pizza Acrobatic Trials.
We're wrapping it up. All right. Yeah, this is going to be exciting. Let's see.